Hey guys, Mystery Wheel Gunner here. As you can see, I got my hands on a 6-inch barreled Colt Anaconda. Yeah, I'm late to the party, but it took a while to find one at a decent price. And that's the key right there, a decent price. When the 2021 Anacondas came out, they were actually fairly easy to find, but the prices were insane. MSRP on these is $1,500. I've seen some retailers mark these up to almost $4,000 when the Anacondas first hit. Prices have started to come down a little bit, but things are still on the pricey side. Average price for the 6-inch barrel is around $2,000, a little bit more for the 8-inch barrel. I paid $100 over MSRP. I don't like paying over MSRP, but I did still beat the going average, so I guess I did okay. I haven't had the chance to get to the range yet, so this will be a tabletop review, but don't worry, when I do get to the range, I'll have an updated video and some range footage. Okay, on to the tabletop review. Let me get to one little nitpick right off the bat, the rubber grips. The 2019 King Cobra Target had wood grips. The 2020 Python had wood grips. 2021 Anaconda, rubber grips. Would have been nice to see wood grips on the Anaconda. Now, to be fair, these rubber grips are of good quality. I think they're made by Hogue. They look a lot like the Hogue Mono Grip. The King Cobra Target and the Python are both chambered in .357 Magnum. The Anaconda is chambered in .44 Magnum. There's quite a big jump in power from the .357 to the .44. For a greater number of people, rubber grips will be more comfortable when shooting the .44 Magnum. I'm not saying that wood grips can't be comfortable for the .44, but you usually need the fatter target style wood grips, and those are more expensive to make. The rubber grips are a much more inexpensive way to bring comfort to .44 Magnum shooters. The trade-off, of course, is, well, they're not as pretty as the wood grips. Moving on to the rest of the gun, the front sight is a red ramp style, which is secured by a grub screw. This is nice because you can easily replace the front sight just by loosening the grub screw. The rear sight is click adjustable for elevation, but has a freewheeling windage screw with a small lock screw for the sight blade. So, be sure to loosen the lock screw before making your adjustments, and be sure to tighten it down afterwards. Personally, I wish the windage was also just click adjustable. Sure, the set screw design works, but just seems like another unnecessary step. The top strap is drilled and tapped, so you can easily add some kind of scope or optics mount. The trigger has striations and also flares out, giving it a wide target-style feel. The trigger is very smooth. Colt has described the 2021 Anaconda as a bigger version of the 2020 Python, with the Anaconda inheriting the Python's trigger. And for the most part, Colt's claim is true. When pulling the trigger smoothly and somewhat slowly, the double action pull is incredibly smooth with no hitches. The cylinder lock occurs fairly late and is virtually indiscernible. Now, why did I emphasize pulling the trigger smoothly and somewhat slowly? I'll get to that in a bit. Cocking the hammer to put it in single action is the smoothest mechanism I've ever felt in a revolver. It feels so light and incredibly glassy. And that makes it a bit of a wonder that the single action trigger pull is heavier than you would expect. It's not terrible, but it's heavier than, say, a Smith & Wesson single action trigger. Okay, time to try and describe a certain characteristic that is present in all revolvers, especially ones with heavy cylinders, but it's even more noticeable in the Anaconda. When you pull the trigger in double action, a mechanism called the hand will come up and push on a gear. This makes the cylinder turn. The faster you pull the trigger, the faster the hand comes up, the faster the cylinder rotates. The faster the cylinder rotates, the more angular momentum it has. All that momentum will then come to an abrupt stop when the cylinder stop notch meets the cylinder stop. In the Anaconda, this crash stop is very noticeable. Now the trigger pull is still smooth, but that crash stop adds in some harshness to the gun's action. I'll try to demonstrate this by quickly pulling the trigger, but stopping just shy of the hammer fall. You'll be able to see and hear the cylinder do the crash stop. And as you can see, when pulling the trigger fast, the cylinder lock comes well before the hammer fall. Keep in mind, I'm not pointing this out to bash the Anaconda. All double-action revolvers with heavy cylinders do this. It's just, for whatever reason, more noticeable with the Anaconda. So, for the smoothest double action on the Anaconda, pull smooth and somewhat slow. There's an indecent joke in there somewhere, but I'm not touching it. Anyways, just from my preliminary tabletop observations, I'm happy with my purchase. But I'll withhold final judgment until I can get to the range and actually fire live rounds through the Anaconda. And that'll do it for this preliminary table. For those of you who like to watch unboxing videos, I put together this pseudo unboxing here at the end. I call it the pseudo unboxing because, well, I had already opened it up at the FFL anyway, so it was already unboxed even before I got home. Anywho, here we go. You get the nice Colt plastic case with the logo prominent on the top. It's got a texture on it to try and imply it's made of something other than plastic. Open it up. Pretty nice case, nothing mind-blowing. This is probably the same handgun case Colt's been using for the past 10 years, maybe even longer than that. But hey, you know the old saying, if it's not broken, why try to fix it? It's a good enough case, nice padding. All right, good enough for going to home and the range and back. I do like this feature though. The instruction manual has its own little tray and cubby hole, which holds it there securely. If you bought a semi-auto, then you would get a free chamber flag here. But since this is a revolver, I don't get a chamber flag. Okay, packet of ancillary stuff. Message from Colt. Important notice from Colt. The following warning, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. Join the NRA using the Colt thingy. Save up to blah, blah, blah for your membership. Advertising piece for Lucas oil products. Used and recommended by Colt. From what I understand, I think you're supposed to get a free sample packet of Lucas. I didn't get one. Not that it's a deal breaker. All right, I'm not heartbroken by that. I'm not going to call up Colt and demand my free trial packet, but I think you're supposed to get one. Oh well, probably just a packing error. Whoever packed this gun just forgot to put that oil packet in there. I got one with my Python. But anyway, moving on. The old tapeworm, gun lock, whatever. And then the feature attraction. The handgun itself in a nice plastic bag. And you get whoops. Not really sure what this thing is supposed to protect, but a lot of revolvers come with this little little disc in there. But there you have it, the pseudo unboxing of the Colt Anaconda. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time.